Music can often make or break a day. It can change your mood, amp you up for exercise, and help you recover from injury. But what is it, and how does it work exactly? And how can you use it to your advantage? Music therapy is an established healthcare profession that uses music to address physical, emotional, cognitive, social, and spiritual needs of individuals of all ages. The still unproven theory revolves around the idea that music is represented in multiple parts of the brain and therefore accesses deeper pathways between neurons. Music then helps patients connect the stored knowledge of words through songs and helps create the new connections needed for speech. This same idea has been used for stroke victims in the past and have been referred to as the Kenny Rogers effect. You don't need to have suffered for brain damage to get the benefits through, though. Let's look at how music affects the brain in a more casual sense and how you can use it to enhance your day-to-day by recalling memories, boosting your immune system, and increasing productivity. Some people, especially students, think that listening to music helps the memory. Historically, supporters of this practice have been referred to this as the Mozart effect. Most students, of course, listen to pop music rather than Mozart. Students are notorious for listening to music while studying. Why isn't music a distraction? I've read before about how unnecessary stimuli can prevent memory consolidation, which in this case is studying consumes cognitive resources and prevents the formation of memory that lasts long enough for the next exam. Because so many students listen to music while studying, formal experiments were recently reported on whether this is a good thing. These experiments conducted in Finland has scientific rationale. Prior research has shown that listening to music that people consider pleasurable increased the release of dopamine in the brain, and dopamine is well known as a feel-good neurotransmitter. Other research had also shown that dopamine promotes learning to approach rewards, while deficiency of dopamine promotes learning of punishments. A great deal of research has shown that positive emotions have an indirect enhancing effect on forming memories. Negative emotions impair memory. No solid neuroscience explanation exists, but it is no doubt highly relevant that the same brain structure, the hippocampus, meditates both emotions and memory formation. So could music also boost your immune system? Scientists found that after listening to just 50 minutes of uplifting dance music, the levels of antibodies in volunteers' bodies increased. They also found that stress hormone levels, which can weaken the immune system, decreased after being exposed to the music. Volunteers who played a percussion instrument along with the music also benefited from the immune boost. The researchers from Sussex University and the Max Planck Institute in Leipzig, Germany, say their findings demonstrate how music could be used to help aid patients' recovery while in the hospital. In a separate unpublished study, they also found that playing music while a patient was under anesthetic during an operation also helped to lower the levels of harmful stress hormones. Dr. Ronnie Ink, a neurocognition expert at the Max Planck Institute, who led the research, said, "We think that the pleasant state that can be induced by music leads to a special psychological change, which eventually leads to a stress reduction or direct immune enhancement. Stress reduction probably plays an important role, but the stress-reducing effect seems to be different for various types of music. The researchers tested 300 people, asking them to listen to 50 minutes of happy, joyful dance music, or to a random collection of tones. They found that the levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, decreased significantly in those listening to the dance music compared to the control group. After listening to the levels of the antibody immunoglobulin A, the immune system's first line of defense, were heightened. The researchers did not test whether different types of music would have different effects, but other studies have shown that personal preference for music can also influence the stress-reducing impact it can have. Dr. Ink added, We expect that different kinds of music might show different psychological and immunological effects. Not only the music itself is important, but probably the personal appraisal of the listener will also be important. We did not use relaxing music, but rather exciting music that were joyful dance tunes from different centuries. Listening to music in hospitals might show benefits for patients and may, for example, lead to shorter recovery times. Not only does music help your memory and health, it also helps productivity. When nothing else seems to help make us productive, the right music can supercharge us. But in terms of our brain and work, what does music do and why does it help us? Studies about how music affects our brains and emotions have been ongoing since the 1950s, when physicians noticed the benefits of music therapy in European and U.S. hospitals. Patients, however, humans have been using music to communicate thoughts and feelings to one another for centuries. Today, research suggests that music can help relieve negative emotions like stress, anxiety, and depression. It can even decrease instances of confusion and delirium in elderly medical patients recovering from surgery. Furthermore, researchers say that listening to happy or sad music can make us perceive others as being happy or sad. Respectively, all findings make it clear that for better or worse, music's impact on our emotions is very real. In terms of how music affects the brain, we can turn to a specific niche of research called neuromusicology, which explores how our nervous system reacts to music. Basically, music enters the inner ear and engages many different areas of our brains, some of which are used for other cognitive functions as well. For the most important part, research suggests that listening to music can improve your efficiency, creativity, and happiness in terms of work-related tasks. However, there are stipulations to these benefits. For example, studies seem to agree that listening to music with lyrics is distracting for most people. Therefore, it's often recommended that we avoid listening to music featuring lyrics when working on tasks that require intense focus or the learning of new information. In contrast, listening to music with lyrics may help people working on repetitive or mundane tasks, perhaps because the distracting nature of lyrical music can provide a kind of relief from the monotony of boring work. Music is a motivator and a great means to keep yourself in a good mood. And while several of the effects are still unproven, listening to music certainly doesn't hurt. Do you have a song that always puts you in a good mood or a productive mood? What about a song that you always turn to while you're in the middle of a study session? I tend to always listen to Fleetwood Mac or Aerosmith when I need to pick me up. As you have heard, music not only provides entertainment, but it provides real benefits like recalling memories, boosting your immune system, and helping your productivity. So next time you have the blues, try turning on your favorite hits and see how it can change your day.